Welcome back everyone to the SimZone. We're here for the final round of the IMB Racewear GT3 Championship, and coming into this round, well, we had to postpone this due to the server crash, so it is pretty much the last round, even though it does say round 7, but this would have been round 7, and Valencia last week would have been round 8. But this has now become pretty much the final round, and it is at Misano. Adam is currently on provisional pole with a 132.937. DeMarchi not too far behind, just a second off. Benelli and P3, they're also about a second off, and it gets fairly close in the midfield here in this qualifying session. But coming into this round, it is Adam leading the championship with quite a big margin going into the final round, about 45 points separating P1 and P2, which is a lot to consider. And I think all Adam has to do is finish the race. If he has a DNF, I believe Manili will take it, but I think as long as Adam finishes, he will be fine to take the win of the championship. Manili's going to need a miracle here if he wants to take the championship win, but he might not be thinking about that. He could possibly be thinking about holding on to P2 in the championship, with DeMarchi not too far behind, although it's about 50 something points, 54 points I think between the two, so there's still quite a big gap there as well. And 2 minutes in P4 on 499, so P3 and 4 very close. Also Cameron Martin P5, who took a win last time out at Valencia, beating the championship leader actually on 489 points. Matheson in 6th on 475 with his first podium of the season. Visala in 7th on 411. Van Hoorn in 8th on 389. Ramshield in 9th on 352. Ulrich in 10th on 338. Novak in 11th on 335. Kutcher in 12th on 319. Yabelbo in 13th on 315, and Blanchett in 14th on 306. Those are the top 14 in the championship. I wish it showed the top 15. That would have made it a bit more even, but yeah, Adam's still on provisional pole, still a second ahead of the next fastest driver, DeMarchi in P2. Tillman currently sitting in P9 in this qualifying session, 3/10 up though. This could possibly put him in 8th, but he needs a bit more time on this lap, going through this triple right-hander up towards the last few corners. Not really using too much curb on the inside, but he's 4/10 up now. This left-hander can be done flat. Take it properly. May win a slight lift from Tillman as he rounds the final corner now, taking the curb on the inside, and he's lost loads of time there as he crosses the line. Still going to be P9 for Tillman, but he needs about a 10th more to get ahead of Van Hoorn. We got Cody in the comments. Hello, hello. Who else is about to improve? Cameron Martin. Another RKM driver, I believe the only one in this championship. Yeah, I believe it is. Cody saying such a hard track, this one. It can be quite technical. I think the main thing you have to watch out for here is track limits. Oh, big slide there through the final corner for Martin. It's not going to improve, I don't think. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. But yeah, the main thing you have to watch out for is track limits and the sleeping policeman on the exits. And Matthew's done a 10th up as he crosses the line. It's going to put him just into P6 there. Did one race and spun 6 times. Oh god. Sounds like a bit of a skill issue to me, but DeMarchi P2 is up a 10th here, running in the McLaren, the new Evo McLaren, but he's only a 10th up. And looking at Martin P3, he was able to beat Adam. He's currently on pole in this qualifying session, but Adam and Martin both in the pits, so they won't be able to improve. Martin is able to beat Adam last time out at Valencia. Here seems to be struggling for pace, 1 second off. DeMarchi 3/10 up, coming up towards this long right-hander, almost a hairpin there really. Once again using the inside curb, flat out there for DeMarchi as he approaches the final corner. Using the inside curb, bit of a slide on the exit as well, but still 3/10 up, and he's going to get within a second of Adam. There we go. 0.777 off of Adam, and Malili improves up into P3. There we go. So it's a second row start for Malili so far. Barth is in the pits, and I believe that's it. Actually, Novak is up for an improvement as he crosses the line. It's not going to be a position though, so that is it. Adam P1, DeMarchi P2, and Malili P3. We'll be back in just a moment for the start of the race, so make sure to stick with us. So here we are, lining up on the grid now. It was Adam on pole, DeMarchi second and Malili third. Now we do have a mandatory pit stop in this race like usual as well. Here we go. Onto the formation lap we go. And let's get a grid walk from the drivers. Now, Cody's saying in the comments that it's not the Evo. Yeah, I don't think it is. I just checked if he switched to the Evo and he hasn't. So, yeah, there is still the old McLaren, but he's done well with it nevertheless. I think it could have been much closer if he went with the Evo. There have been a few drivers already who have switched into the Evo McLaren, but of course the championships are mostly over now. We've got today and tomorrow, and that is it for this season. And yes, plenty of Ferraris on the grid, as you said. In fact, there's not too many. There's what, 5? Well, there's 4 Porsches, so I mean, it's not as much as we usually have. But there's only what, 5 manufacturers in this championship. So yeah, not that many at all. I believe we were expecting a couple more drivers, but it looks like they haven't turned up. So that will be points lost for them, of course. But yeah, let's get a quick track walk here of Misano. Now going to turn 1. Very tight section of the track, especially sector 1, very, very technical. And then sector 2 as though we start to get a bit faster before we get into sector 3, the long straight into the triple right-hander, and then more twisty corners into sector 3. Well, towards the end of sector 3, and then to round off the lap as well. So, technical circuit, drivers have to watch out for track limits, as we said earlier. But the drivers now lining up 2 by 2, approaching the final corner now. Can DeMarchi get ahead of Adam into turn 1? He's going to have the outside for turn 1, but it's quite easy to hold the inside for turn 2. If he can do it, but then he'll be on the outside once again for turn 3, so it's really difficult here. Try and get ahead, but we should be green any moment now. And there we go, Adam off to a good start. Porsche acceleration helping him there to take the racing line, and he's well ahead of DeMarchi already going into turn 1. Malili fending off Martin there just behind, and oh, what's going on here? That's Matheson has made a move on the Barth. Barth down to P6 now, fighting for position. That's Curtin now down the inside of Barth as well. So I think Barth may be losing another position. And is that Van Hoorn looking for a move as well? He is. And Barth dropping right down the order, because now that's Tuaminen who's got passed. So Barth dropping down to P9 after starting P5. He's lost, after starting P6, he's lost loads of positions there on the opening lap. But he's been a bit safe into the first few corners, and that's probably the best thing to do in a 1 hour race like this. Mitchell now in P10 fending off. That's Novak and Vesala side by side here. 2 Porsches batting for position and almost making contact there, but Novak holds on. And Novak all the way down in P11. He's had a good showing in the championship so far, but maybe not enjoying Misano as it is. Back to the race leader. Adam is pulled about a second now to DeMarchi. And Malili in the mix as well. P3 hasn't really got to fend off Martin just yet, but he is still very close, and he's got to worry about him. But for DeMarchi, he's going to try and stick with Adam here, because Miladi's not close enough to him to put enough pressure on. Or at least he's not close enough to go for any moves, so that shouldn't be a problem. We've got Cody saying that next season he wants a karaoke box. Steph saying he remembers this track being quite tricky for track medals. Yeah, it's so easy to invalidate your lap and even pick up track limit penalties and contact there between Mitchell and Novak. They're all 3 wide going down the straight, and this could end quite badly. I think that's Vasala ahead now. Mitchell looks for a move down the inside once again, but no, he's going to try and fend off Novak, who's on the back of him. Goes for a bit of a switchback here, and he's going to get ahead. And now it's once again these two side by side, but on opposite sides of the track here. Last time it was all very late on the brakes there for Mitchell, tagging the back of Vasala and tagging Novak too as well. And now that's dropped Vasala back down a position, and that's now Breen who's joined in on the action. So 4 cars battling now for the final few positions here at Misano. But Mitchell just outbraking himself massively and cutting the corner a bit, and I think that's him round, is it? Yes, it is. He's onto the grass, and he's going to have to wait to rejoin here. There we go. But that's going to be some sort of penalty there. I think possibly a track limit or maybe even a stop go, and all contact between the two, and that is out for the both of them. I think that's possibly it for the two of them, but let's see. Mitchell continues to go out, but that looks like Vasala had a moment going through the penultimate corner. He was all sorts of sideways, and Mitchell with nowhere to go. I think he possibly could have reacted to that a bit sooner, but we go back to P6. Kutscher right in the back of Matheson here. He's going to go for a move. He's got the slipstream going down the straight, and it is a fairly decent straight here, and he's going to look towards the inside late on the brakes. Matheson's left in the room around the outside, but not a whole lot, and it's still side by side between the two, and Matheson's still got his nose down the inside there, so he should be able to keep on to the inside of this corner and hold position, and he does there. And Kutscher a bit deep on the brakes as well, so he slots back in behind, and that's Matheson now back up ahead into P5. Martin on the back of Manili here. And yes, Steph, I won't curse Adam. He's well out into the lead at the moment, 2.5 seconds ahead of P2 DeMarchi. And Cody saying track medals, those are horrible on every track. Well, you don't have to drive fast to get track medals, and Martin running wide through the final corner, possibly picking himself up a track limit penalty as well. 2 of them right on the back of Van Hoorn. Which way is he going to go? He's going to look towards the inside of turn 1. Van Hoorn holding around the outside. Oh, a bit late on the brakes there for 2 minutes, but I think Van Hoorn maybe overslowed the car a bit too much going into turn 1, and there we go. 2 men and up into P7. Now that's Barth on the back of him once again. Barth still in P9. Looks like Malili ahead of Martin now. So Martin's back down to P4. Malili's holding on to P3 here. This is where he started. This is very qualified. Martin challenging him here to try and get past. And he takes the normal racing line. They're using all the curb on the exit. And in the background, that's Matheson and Kutscher once again battling very close for position here. Yeah, Steph, that's a bit of a rookie mistake there, but Matheson going defensive. Nowhere to get past here, really. I think Kutcher's going to have to back out of this. No, he goes for the move, and oh, there's going to be contact between the two. I think Kutscher was a bit too ambitious with that one, and Matheson facing the wrong way. Maybe Matheson could have left a bit more room there, but that was way too ambitious from Kutscher. That's not a corner. You really go for a move in. And now that's Novak possibly almost past. No, it's not. Gonna have to tuck back in. But that's Mitchell and Vasala both into the pits now. for damage repairs. And both Mitchell and Vasala had a bit of a unlucky race so far. Mitchell on the brakes a bit too late a few times, and then Vasala losing it coming up towards the final corner, leaving Mitchell not really anywhere to go. That's part and parcel of racing. And they're both back out on the track, which is lovely to see. So they've done their damage repairs, and they know they could possibly still pick up some positions here. But they've got to pit once again for their mandatory pit stop within the pit window, of course. We go back to Barth on board with the Porsche now. Back up into P7 after the incident between Matheson and Kutscher, so just one position off of his starting position. It's caught right back up to Van Hoorn now, and Adam with a 5-second lead to DeHuisRocker. I think here at Misano is going to be untouchable. And Millie now just keeping Martin at bay, about just under a second back. It looks like Kutscher is going to try another chance here. Another chance of an overtake on Matheson. But these two have really dropped down the order. And even after both making contacts, they're still sticking with each other here on track. And cutting the inside to Kutscher. That could be another track limit warning there for him. Now, of course, you can use a lot of the runoff here at Misano. You can use a lot of the track here, and the main reason they did that is because drivers were pretty much doing that anyways. And they're not going to penalise the whole grid or be using the old track limits, so they ended up extending track limits on this circuit, and that's in real life, not just on the sim as well. And you can use a lot of curb here. Now, track limits for racing in the UK have changed as well quite recently. So that's become a lot more strict than it used to be. But these two still battling very, very close. And Martin once again on the back of Malili. That gap between the two was short-lived, and Martin now putting on the pressure once again. Can he find a way past? He thinks about it, but too far back at this point in time, and Malini a bit wide there, and that's going to allow Martin to close the gap slightly. Cutting the inside once again, and that could be another track limit penalty, or track limit warning there for Martin. They need to be careful. Drive-throughs are so easy to pick up here. Back down to Barth in P7. Looks like Matheson and Kutscher are closing up to him. Barth still a second back to Van Hoorn, so hasn't really lost sight of the Aston Martin driver there in P6. But he's got the two Ferraris, Matheson and Kutscher, closing in. They are out of position as well. So you could see another 4-car battle towards the mid-pack of the field. And I think it might already be. This time Kutscher being a bit more patient through the triple right-handers. Yeah, definitely more patient is Kutscher, but Barth has reeled in Van Hoorn once again. He was fairly close a few laps ago, but then he lost some time, and looks like Martin now ahead of Meili, so he's got the overtake done. It looked like it is into the braking zone of turn 4, I think it was, where he got the move done. That means we go back to this battle, and Kutcher now using the draft, the slipstream, and pulling to the inside. I'm not sure there's much Mathiesen can do here unless he tries to hold it around the outside, which he does, but Kutcher just got much more of his car ahead, and up into P8 he goes. Very late on the brakes there from Mathiesen. There's contact once again between the two, but Mathiesen coming worse off, and that was never going to happen once in a million years there. I think he may have missed his braking point, just may have. I think he either tried to go for a move or just completely misjudged that. But Kutcher didn't really suffer too badly. That's Mathiesen down into P10 and 7.8 seconds back. So unfortunately, he's only done himself, he's not done himself a favour here. After coming off a podium at Valencia, he's struggling a lot more here at Misano. Back to Barth. He's still a second back to Van Hoorn, so these two fairly even on pace. That last time around, Van Hoorn was about half a tenth quicker. So neither driver catching nor pulling away. But Kutcher was about 2 seconds back after he made contact, or after Mathiesen made contact with him. And now that gap's down to 1.3, so it goes to show how much quicker Kutcher is compared to these two. And now that he's in a bit of clean air and he's not stuck behind Mathiesen, he can try and put his foot down now. And here we go, Barth has closed up massively there as we get onto the straight for his triple right-hander now. On board with the Porsche of Barth. What can he do? And Adam already almost with a 10-second lead. The Martin has only been, what, nearly 15 minutes into the race. That's a lot of time that Adam has gained. Pretty much a second to 2 seconds a lap quicker. Varying every lap, of course. But interesting line there from Van Hoorn. Through the final corner, missing the apex slightly, and he's run wide. Another possible track limit warning. Barth looking for a move down the inside, lifts off the throttle early, and oh, look in the rear view mirror, that's Kutcher steaming in. And oh, taking a bit too much curb there on the inside. Was Barth. It could be down to his setup as well. That unsettled the car quite a lot. And once again, he's back to that second gap to Van Hoorn, and that left-hander where Barth had to lift can be flat out. Or it's used to just a very, very slight lift, but Barth was completely off the throttle there. And looks like Kutcher's going to go around the outside there of Barth, up into P7. And Barth, nothing he could do there, but looks for a move down the inside once again. And no, he just sticks behind. Kutcher now. Novak catching up to the other Porsche from the Advisor Racing team. This isn't going to get confusing at all. They're running the same livery here. Barth sticking with Kutcher, possibly trying to follow him through. Maybe Kutcher could be Barth's opportunity to try and get past Van Hoorn as he gets him oversteer once again. The curb's causing some issues here for Barth, so I think it's definitely down to the setup of that Porsche not handling those curbs well, those compressions and decompressions through the corners. That's obviously going to be down to his oh, looks like we've had a retirement. I think that's Mitchell who has retired. Yes, that's obviously going to be to his fast bump and his fast rebound or whatnot. as he's really struggling over those curbs. And he's lost lots of time to Kutcher now. Kutcher about a second back to Van Hoorn. After Martin got the move done on Mullard, he's opened up 2.5 seconds. Mullard, this is the issue we had last time at Valencia. He had the pace in qualifying, but just wasn't able to transfer it to the race. Whether that's due to fuel loads, or that's due to incorrect setup, or tyre wear, or tyre pressures even. He just isn't able to carry that pace over to the race, really. And it's now Kutcher on the back of Van Hoorn. Van Hoorn running a P6, very good position to be in at the moment. Exactly in the middle of the field. But could that be changed here with Kutcher right on his bumper now? And oh, a bit of a mistake there from Kutcher, no! And could Barth now possibly get back past? He definitely could. He's going to have a good run here, going down towards turn 4, I believe it is. And no, he doesn't go for it. It's going to allow Novak to catch up even more, down to 1.3, 1.2 even. Oh, this is allowing Van Hoorn to pull away. He's got about a 6-second gap now to 6-second gap to Kutcher. And it's coming down though, back down to 1.5, 1.8 almost, but very wide once again. Then Kutcher is really struggling to get the car slowed down into some of the corners. He's run wide a few times, so possibly you've got some marbles on his tyres now. That's not going to be helping at all. But now the two Porsches, two Adweiser Racing Porsches actually, neck and neck. It looks like Novak's lost quite a bit of time now. Steph saying quite some interesting moves so far. Yeah, there have been. But now the grid spacing out slightly in almost 15 seconds now. The race leader, Adam, well ahead of the rest of the field. It's much different to last time at Valencia, where he had a really big challenge in the form of Cameron Martin in P3. Well, he's currently running in P3, and he seems to be catching up now. DeMarchi is about a 10th quicker that last lap, and this is another battle we could be seeing very shortly. The pit window now open. Steph saying also looking forward to drive 1.9 on PS5 in a week. Yeah, that's come around quite quickly. I was expecting pretty much September, and 2 minutes off the track, and that is Kutcher now is going to get past. And in fact, Van Hoorn's got past as well. It's a P5 goes Van Hoorn, picking up some free positions here just by mistakes of others. And it could possibly be a top 5 finish here for Van Hoorn, but there's still plenty of time left in the race to go. But yeah, I was expecting sort of September to like December time where the update would come out. But it's much earlier than expected. Let's just hope it works on console. Because if it doesn't work on console and it it breaks the game like a lot of updates usually do when they come out. But I'm sure they'll fix it quite quickly. They have been doing so. And looks like Barth is back on turning. Yeah, Scott, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. And looks like Barth's got a great exit here, opening up the corner for himself. Looking towards... No, he's not going to look into the final corner. Very difficult place to go for a move, but Turman slightly missing the apex there. And looks like Martin's now caught up to DeMarchi. But yeah, I think Adam, as long as he finishes, he's won the championship here. Sitting in P1 and P1 in the championship. Oh, what was it? 16? No, it was about 45 points ahead, I think it was. Yeah, about 45 points ahead. And yeah, I don't think there's any way that Manili is going to be able to catch him. I remember Vuzdetsky also in this championship, who was another really solid challenge for our championship leader Adam, but unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he had to back out of the championship. Very late on the brakes there from Turman. Going for a bit of a late apex though. You see Barth lifting slightly through that penultimate corner. That's time loss there for him. It is flat. I definitely think there is some sort of setup issue here for Barth, as he really struggles over these curves as well. And you can see he just unsettles the car completely. But that's now Kutcher on the back of Van Hoorn, and very late on the brakes there from Barth. He's going to be losing even more time here. But possibly the commentator's curse, a little bit of oversteer on the exit as well. Yeah, let's switch off of Barth, back to Kutcher, who's now caught up to Van Hoorn. And this is what he did early. He caught back up, but he made a mistake and tried to push the car and ended up losing it again. So can he keep it on the track this time around, or will he make another mistake is the question. Martin still a second back to DeMarchi, which are looking left, looking right, nowhere to go just yet. This section of the track, not really where you see overtakes. With very high speed corners, the car's going to be completely loaded. Steph saying I'm a master of the commentator's curse, and Van Hoorn deep on the brakes there, and that is Kutcher not passed yet. Van Hoorn's still got his nose down the inside, but Kutcher's going to hold it around the outside. Oh, there's contact there between the two, and Kutcher with a pirouette into the wall he goes. And I think that Van Hoorn, that's into the pits though. Luckily the pit window is open, but that could be down to the steward there. Van Hoorn, I don't think, left Kutcher enough room on the exit. Kutcher did turn back onto the track prematurely, and that is possibly going to go down to the steward's den, but that's allowed Turman to catch back up. Yeah, that was death, but luckily it was just at the entrance of the pits, so Kutcher can now repair his damage. Will we see another move here on Van Hoorn? 2 minutes right behind Martin's, right behind DeMarchi as well. We'll quickly have a look at those two in just a moment. And no, that's actually Martin into the pits. DeMarchi staying out, Mullard into the pits as well. And this time Van Hoorn's got the car stopped. And he hasn't overshot the corner. Steph saying he thinks the stewards might see some reports after this race. Yeah, possibly. And all Van Hoorn very wide there through the final corner. I think that's probably one of the most difficult corners in terms of track limits of this circuit so far. But yeah, usually we don't see many reports talk about the final rounds of the championship. But who knows, could put one in there to the stewards. You just see a glimpse there of Tierman in the white Ferrari. Behind Van Hoorn and Barth right behind them as well. But lots of drivers making their mandatory pit stops now. Around almost at the halfway mark of the race. And all contact between the two, and that's Tierman very late on the brakes there. In fact, spinning himself around. Yellow flags now back to green. But Van Hoorn's picked up some damage after that, and in fact Barth has taken advantage, and now he's got ahead. And you can definitely say there's been some questionable moves here in the race. It's such an easy corner to brake a bit too late on. And that's obviously what's happened there. 2 a minute. And that's Van Hoorn now to the pits. Barth is kept out on track. 2 minutes still out on track as well. Let's go down to Mullard. He's a 1.5 back to Martin. It was much more than that before the pit stops. Mullard's brought it back down, and usually we see him a bit quicker in the second stint. So he could be able to close that gap now to P7. Obviously it won't be P7 for long. They will move up the order when the rest of the drivers do decide to pit. And what have we got going on here? P5, DeMarchi's out of the pits just ahead of Martin. Looks like they've got some traffic here. Possibly going to be blue flags, I think. Or Breen, who runs wide. Yes, it is blue flags. He moves over to the right hand side of the track. He's going to allow DeMarchi and Martin through now. Martin on the inside. No, not just yet. But yeah, DeMarchi in a bit of trouble here. Mullard right behind now as well. And Breen's going to have to move out the way here. Not sure why he hasn't yet. And there we go, down the inside. Now he moves out the way. Down the inside goes Mullard. And he is still 1.3 seconds back. But with these two battling, I'm sure we can close right up to them. Now the race leader, Adam, into the pit. So that still just leaves Vasala, Barth, and Breen. Vasala. Sorry, not Barth. Vasala, Breen, Tierman, and Barth to pit. Kutcher still in the pits. I think that's a retirement then from him. People saying, well, that was one to forget. Forgot to turn off fuel and repairs. Pit stop and had no pace and stability with a full tank. My time with the Audi is done. God, it's slow. Yeah, it's not what it used to be, unfortunately. Maybe they'll bring it back, but bit of a dummy there from Martin. Almost sold it to DeMarchi, but he's got to be careful. Look how close Mullard is behind, and this is some brilliant battling going on between the three on board with Mullard. These two weaving left and right, looking for a space is Martin, but he chooses the outside this time, letting the brakes. Mullard even later, trying to possibly go for a switchback, but there's no space there on the inside. Martin parks his car on the apex, and these two are almost side by side now. Can Mullard take advantage of that and look for a move down the inside? No. Interestingly, he goes for the outside, maybe to get a better run. And what's happened to Mullard? He's into the pits. I think he may have returned to garage. I'm not sure what happened there to him. But these three still bumper to bumper. Novak on the back of Van Hoorn as well. Where is who was battling with Kutcher? It was Matheson, wasn't it? So Matheson is still ahead. But for Kutcher, it looks like a retirement, possibly one for Mullard as well. I'm not sure if he did return to garage or not. It looks like he might have. But Vasala has not got long left to pit, neither does Barth. Hope they're paying attention to the pit window time. We've had drivers before on previous seasons who have missed the pit window. And Novak's still at the back of Van Hoorn, but we need to go back to this battle. Onto the rear view wing cam of DeMarchi here. Martin's got the slipstream, pulls out the slipstream early, but forces DeMarchi to go defensive. And once again, this is not the new Ivan McLaren that DeMarchi is using, it is the old one. And he's still able to keep this Ferraris behind. So imagine what he'd be able to do in the new Ivan McLaren. That's Barth into the pits now, Breen into the pits. German's still out on track. So I believe that either could have been a stop red 30 or a drive-through penalty for him. So he's still got to serve his... Oh, and Martin looking for a move down the inside. DeMarchi's left the door wide open, and Martin's got the move done. And now DeMarchi in a Ferrari sandwich here. That is Kutcher, who has retired from the race as well. So still three drivers yet to... two drivers now yet to pit. Mullard and Vasada. Jan saying he's got 3 track limit warnings after 6 minutes, so yeah, I'm sure quite a few drivers do. And Mullard, no penalties whatsoever. Oh, bit of a nudge there from DeMarchi, a bit too late on the brakes going through that first set of corners, but that's going to allow Mullard to get a good run, and DeMarchi has to go defensive here to hold on to this position. Well, it's going to give him a horrible exit. In fact, I think Mullard even messed up the corner himself. He's not got close enough. And he's now a bit further behind, but that's Barth out on track. Where has he come out? Is he ahead of Matheson? Just ahead of Matheson. This is going to be quite a good battle as well. If Barth can hold on, he's just come out of the pits. It's going to be on colder tyres. Back to this battle then. DeMarchi very late on the brakes there. Mullard's got a good chance now. DeMarchi's got to leave a little bit of room on the inside. Steph saying this man is just casually chatting while making a pit stop. Yeah, there's plenty of time. 30 seconds is more than enough. I mean, you could have a coffee break in the pits. If you've already made your coffee, that is. I do not advise running to go and make a coffee while you sat in the pits and then coming back and you realise your car's off the jacks and rolling down the pit lane. But now that's Vasala into the pit. Still Mullard yet to serve his pit stop. That may be that we have a bug here, and he has actually served it. That could be it, because it's not showed up that he has had a drive through any other penalties. will there be a coffee machine update in 1.10? I'm not sure there will be a 1.10. I think possibly on 1.9, and I think that might be it. Obviously, we're getting the GT2s, I think, by the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's going to be any more tyre model or physics updates. I believe GT2s is towards the end of the road. Maybe they might release a few more tracks. I'm hoping Hockenheim or something like that. But I believe their main focus is on AC2 at the moment. When does that come out? Spring next year, I think it is. 2024 spring. AC2. I think that's when it comes out. And of course we've got the WEC game coming out later this year. If that's any good, I'm sure we'll be running some championships on that too. We need a change of car class as well. And we'll do some more stuff rather than just ACC. I think, especially when we've got some more staff available, we'll be doing some more variety of sims as well. This 3-car battle still going on then. All these 3 drivers, Demarchi, Mullard, Martin, Demarchi and Mullard, still sticking with each other. Neither of them have attempted any moves in the last lap or two. Mullard's dropped back off just a bit, but Demarchi's keeping the pressure onto Martin, which could favour Mullard. But I think 2 million has served his pit stop, and I think that's just a bug with the telemetry or the HUD. As otherwise he would have been in the pits by now, because that pit window is about to close. In fact, where is he on track? Yeah, he would have been in the pits by now. It's actually, let's see. Let's have a look. If he's coming towards the pit lane, if he decides to go in, no. So yeah, he definitely has pitted then. That's just a bug from our end. Let's take a look at the pit stop time. So yeah, 75 seconds in the pits. I'm not actually sure why it hasn't counted that, to be honest. Very odd. But you can see between Martin, Demarchi and Mullard, all very, very similar pit stop times. In fact, Demarchi half a second quicker than Martin and 0.8, nearly a second quicker than Mullard. So that would have helped massively, considering how close they are in this battle. And he was able to stay ahead of Martin coming out the pits, but once he got the move done on track, he didn't need the pit stops to get past the McLaren of Demarchi. Could be a whole different story if Demarchi decided to switch to the Evo, but he stayed in the regular 720S GT3 McLaren. They're saying let's immediately mod the coffee machine into AC2. And this has now allowed Mullard to close right up. This is once again very, very close, and we could see this battle continue towards the end. But McLaren really closing in here. That slipstream so effective. Oh no, he's possibly going to look for a move. No, late on the brakes though. Sticking on that rear bumper of Martin, and this could, yep, that could have ended quite badly for the two, but DeMarchi backs out of it, sensible there, but he's just showing his nose up the inside into a few of the corners, which is what he needs to do to keep on the pressure to Martin, to keep him looking behind him rather than in front. And very wide, oh, huge slide there from DeMarchi, and once again another slide through the second corner. And that's going to really eat up his tyres. And he's going to have to nurse them for a few laps now with those slides. They're going to be slightly overpressured. And they're going to have, well, they're going to be a bit more hotter than they usually would be when they're ideal or optimum temperatures. Except DeMarchi started listening to Eurobeat. Yeah, started playing Tokyo Drift. Now that was a hairy moment for DeMarchi, and look how much time he's lost to Martin now, 1.3 seconds back, although you can just see him ahead on a whole second and be quite a lot in racing terms. And once again a bit of a slide through the final corner for DeMarchi, struggling with the rear now after those half spins. Luckily caught both of those slides, because that could have easily ended up with him facing the wrong way, especially with Milili so close behind. And it looks like Tuominen, who we saw make a bit of contact early this race with Van Hoorn. Van Hoorn now down in P8 after running in P5 for quite a while. He's back down the order, started P7, so hasn't really had the best of runs. I'm actually surprised that Tuominen's in P7. I'm not actually sure he has served his pit stop, to be honest. This could actually be correct. And of course, if he hasn't, that's going to be a massive penalty at the end of the race. I believe at some tracks it's 130 seconds, at others it's 180. DeMarchi's caught back up to Martin now, even after those slides he had. He's been able to keep up, and not even keep up, close in on Martin, so he's got some better pace here. At last lap, 34.6 from Marchi, 35.3 from Martin, and 34.9 from Milili. And of course the race leader Adam with a 33.6. And that's Martin now having to go defensive. Is DeMarchi going to go for a switchback? No. Martin knows where to place the car here to hold on and to defend. He completely blocked the switchback, but DeMarchi trying it around the outside here. Martin's going to have to leave him the room in the exit, but nothing that DeMarchi could have done. Has to go the long way around, and it's definitely not easy to do when you're exactly side by side through corners like that. And now Milili right at the back of them once again. They are switching, chopping and changing positions here. They're going left and right. For each corner, a bit of a slide there from Milili, slightly off the track there. And DeMarchi once again trying for a move on Martin. You can see the timer ticking. It's running out and just 13 minutes left to go to get a move done on Martin. It looks like they're approaching Breen once again, where they're going to have to lap. This could end up quite badly here with the 3 behind. This could actually throw a spanner into the works for these 3. Once again, Demachi with a bit of a slide there. But this isn't the best camera view. I wanted something better than this. That's the rear view cam on the Aston Martin. So let's go to our heli cam here. Oops, that's the wrong driver. That's the wrong driver again. There we go, that's better. And here we go, they're going to have to get past now. Green's going to have to let them all through, I think, coming up towards this left-hander. It looks like, is he doing so? Yeah, he is. He's going the long way around. And, wow, he's let them past nearly. Just behind as well. Not able to take the proper racing line, but of course, back markers, they can't disappear into thin air. But nicely done from Breen, and look at the gap that Adam has got the P2 Martin. 41 seconds. That's a huge lead that Adam's gone. It's similar to what we saw in actually one of the rounds in this championship. With Adam again, creating a huge gap to the rest of the field. I mean, maybe if we see Adam next season, he'll probably have some more competition. He had lots of competition at the start of the season, but like I said, Wizdecki unable to continue the rest due to personal reasons, and he was Adam's main challenge throughout the season. We saw them at Spa neck and neck throughout the whole race. Steph saying, what's that screeching sound? Not sure what you mean. It might be outside. Is it quite loud? Steph? But still, these 3 continuing to battle, and we've got some more battles heating up as well. Barth and German. Barth, is he carrying some damage on his car? Just when I was speaking. Hope it's not my fan. But back to this battle. Demachi's still keeping the pressure onto Martin. Milili's dropped off once again. Can he get back up to the rear bumper of Demachi? Yeah, Steph. Yeah, that's what it is. This microphone's a bit too good. I've even got noise suppression on, and it still picks it, still picks that up. So apologies for that, but not much we can do. And that's outside as well, so this microphone picks up absolutely everything. Milili's now caught back up. What isn't outside? Outside means outside. But yeah, still these 3 battling for position, and just under 10 minutes now of the race to go. We could see some more desperate moves between these 3 drivers in an attempt to either defend or get past one another. And let's have a look. On board with Milili now. Demachi, through his final sector, seems to really close up to Martin. It seems like where the Ferrari might struggle a bit more compared to the McLaren, or it might just be that Martin's just a bit weaker in this final sector. You see early on the power there from Milili. Oh, I get what you mean now, Steph. But once again, a bit of a slide there from DeMarchi. This is what we saw earlier on, and Malini's now set himself up to go for a move into turn 4. DeMarchi, big slide there from the McLaren driver, and I think Malini's going to get the move done down the inside. He goes, and yes, he has got it done. Up into P3 goes Malini, and now the question is, can he get Martin as well? DeMarchi's really struggling to those first set of corners. Maybe saying that's the reason why you're not on Dead by Daylight. Yes, that's the reason. This is the last round of this championship as well, and we've got the last round of the Moser Champ tomorrow, and that will be it. So Malini a bit late on the brakes. Is this going to allow DeMarchi back up the inside? It looks like it might. We know the McLaren's very quick through this final sector, and he's got the slipstream as well. Look how close he is here. This could be a possible move here for DeMarchi. He's going to go for it. Let's see, what can he do? Looks towards the inside, and Malini's been forced wide as a result, and I think DeMarchi's going to get this position back. Yes, Malini, with a slight mistake, has lost him that position again, and now DeMarchi's going to catch back up to Martin now, and the first set of corners where we see the McLaren struggle. Melvin saying, is that similar from PS4? Yes, it is. It is indeed. Simo's currently Simo's now P4, but yeah, really, he's P2 in the championship at the moment. About 45 points, I think it was, behind the championship leader Adam, who's got a 46-second lead. Martin in P2. I mean, Adam has competed in the highest level of esports, so it's no surprise that he is leading this race. Last round at Valencia was much closer. Adam didn't win that actually. Martin in P2 won that race. That Adam guy seems kind of fast. Yeah, he's very quick. He's a very quick driver. Is Adam, and he's been lapping consistent 133s here at Misano, where the rest have been doing 34s and 35s. But he's obviously in clean air, nothing to worry about. Still lapping those times. And just 5 minutes left of the race to go. All he has to do is bring it home. And he has won the championship then. Malini right at the back of the McLaren. Marchi's been unable to close that gap to Martin through this first sector. In the third sector, like we know, he always catches up. But he's got to think about Malini behind him. Can't rule him out, especially this late on into the race with just 4 minutes remaining now. And once again, a bit of a snap there for DeMarchi, but he's able to save it. Malini just seems to struggle at this section of the track. You can see he's lost lots of time. This is where DeMarchi got past previously as well, was into this last sector. Getting a bad exit onto that long straight before this triple right hand is going to cost you lots of time. An interesting line there from Malini, but it hasn't helped him. In fact, I think it's lost him a bit of time through the final corner. On board with Marty's got a brilliant exit here, a mistake from Martin, and he's going to look towards the outside. Martin going defensive. Is Mullard going to try and get up the inside now as well? No, he's not. He's too far back at the moment, but he's caught right up now as Mullard. Here we go. And this is going to be a last lap battle between these three. We've still got a couple more laps to go, I believe. I'm not sure where Adam is on the track just yet, but where is Mullard? He's so close behind. And let's go on board with Mullard here. Oh, late on the brakes. Once again, he's going to try and go for a switchback. Oh, Martin was very late on the brakes as well. He's overshot the corner, and they are almost 3 wide going down the straight. Mullard's backed out of that. And is this DeMarchi? Can he get past? Mullard's thinking about making it too wide here with Martin, but DeMarchi's now ahead into P2, Martin down to P3, and late on the brakes there from Mullard. He's going to try and go for a move. Bit of a mistake there from Martin. He's going to have to leave the door wide open, and Mullard's made a mistake as well. They're still side by side. Martin's going to get back up the inside, but he's going to have to leave room on the exit, and there we go. He can now take the racing line, and Martin ahead. Back up into P3, but he's lost a position to DeMarchi in P2, and Mullard's still where he were. P4, but what's happened here? DeMarchi's got a horrible exit. I think it may have been a bit of contact between the two actually earlier on, and DeMarchi's let Martin back through, and that's possibly what it was. Really using the dummy there, and DeMarchi, but unfazed is the McLaren driver. And just 1 minute left to go. Where is our race leader? Adam's coming up towards the final corner, so we will be on the final lap now as Adam crosses the line. And in fact, he's going to lap Van Hoorn here in P8, so he's lapped everyone up to P8 so far. We go back to these three, Martin, DeMarchi and Mullard. So Martin still holds on to P2. But late on the brakes once again through that corner. That's where we saw the mistake last time, where I believe DeMarchi may have given Martin a bit of a tap. That's probably what cost, and that's probably why he let Martin back through before they got into turn 1. But this could be his opportunity now, as he gets a good exit, but not enough. Very late on the brakes there from DeMarchi, and God, that was overshooting the corner just by a bit there, and Mullard could have a good chance at getting past. But these three have been so clean all race, and just a slight mistake, maybe a lapse in concentration there for DeMarchi as he does run wide through the final corner. There's our race leader once again. DeMarchi's looking for a move into turn 1. Our race leader approaching the final, he's in the final sector now actually. Breen looks like he's lost the car, but he's got going once again. What's going to happen here? Are they going to stay as they are? We're not sure, but Adam approaching the final corner. Your championship leader is now going to win the championship for the final round here in the IMB Racewear Championship, and there we go, crosses the line to win Season 9 of the IMB Racewear GT3 Championship. Congratulations to Tarek Adam as he crosses the line. Now the battle for P2 continues. Martin P2, DeMarchi P3 and Mullard P4. They are approaching the final sector now. Is there going to be anything that DeMarchi and Mullard can do to get past Martin, or is Martin going to park the car in the apex, which he should do now into this final sector? They are side by side here. DeMarchi's got a chance to go around the outside late on the brakes there for DeMarchi, but Martin's got the preferred line, and they're still side by side. This could be it for Martin, and DeMarchi's going to try it. In fact, he's got the move done. Martin isn't able to do anything, and Mullard's going to look for a move down the inside into the final corner, but he backs out of that, and this is DeMarchi who's going to take P2 there. Flash of light from Martin, unhappy about something there, but that looked to be okay to me, and Mullard now in P4. What a race between those three. Matheson's going to finish in P5, Barth in P6, Tourman in P7, Van Hoorn 8th, Novak 9th, Green 10th, and Vasala 11th. we'll be back for some interviews in about a couple of minutes, so make sure to stick with us. And yeah, I think that was a brilliant move there. I'm not sure what the flash of the lights was for, but there we have it, ladies and gents. We'll be back in just a moment. So it looks like we will get some interviews now with the drivers. Let's bring in our championship winner. We've got Adam here, championship winner. Been an incredible performance from you throughout the season. But last round you had some challenges with Martin finishing in P1 ahead of you, but that didn't stop you in today's race, finishing, what was it, 15 seconds or something ahead, nearly a minute ahead of P2, which is absolutely unreal. So congratulations on the championship, and yeah, tell us how you're feeling.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it felt pretty good. Last week was a bit of an off week for me, so I was quite sick. So I just pitched up to finish the race and get some points, and yeah, this week was obviously much better. So yeah, thanks for organizing the tournament, the competition. It was great fun. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, lovely to hear. I mean, I hope you're feeling better today anyways. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on the grid with us. And, well, obviously summertime there's a lot less drivers, but especially compared to our last season where we pretty much had full grids. But we hope to see you again for future seasons. Maybe even possibly the VCO and SimGrid qualifiers, who knows. But yeah.
Yeah, cool, thanks. I'll definitely give that a look.
Brilliant. But it's been a pleasure having you. Thanks again. And we'll be in contact with you shortly about the prizes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Take care.
You too. Bye.
There we have it, ladies and gents. That was our championship winner, Adam. And I think that's it for interviews, to be honest. We'll be live for our last race of the season tomorrow. That's the Moser Racing Championship. Last round of that, where we will be at Kyle Army to finish off the season. But yeah, thanks for watching and good night.